y'all. Let's get this party started here. Welcome to Hardcore Enduro, where it's all about getting out and riding the hard stuff. I'm George, the guy behind the bars, and the voice behind the mic. And we're out in Spangler, California, running the 2025 Thanksgiving Poker Run put on by yours truly right here, Mr. Hardcore Enduro. And I gotta apologize, my son is running around with the Christmas chicken, Jingle Bells Christmas chicken, and it's pock, and I hope you can't hear the background. And then my daughter's watching Danny Go, so that thing's blaring in the background. But anyways, we got 9 guys who came out and participated in the poker run this year, which I was totally happy about. Had a couple more guys that canceled last minute, but that's no problem. 9 was still plenty, and I hope they got their money's worth. Well, I know they got their money's worth because this was an all-day ride. We put in 62 miles. Here comes Mike up the hill climb. Mike did so good today. He's the oldest rider out here at 64, and he was still throwing it down. But anyways, yeah, 62 miles, almost 8 hours on the day. It was basically sun up to sundown. And how I set this poker run up, I really like the format. It's a 7 checkpoint poker run, so you get 7 cards. I had each checkpoint had coordinates, and I sent all the coordinates to the guys, and they could load it up in their own GPS, their own navigation system they have or using, and they could run the course their own route. There wasn't a specific way to get to each checkpoint. There was a hard way and an easy way to get to the actual cash can. Left that up to the rider's decision and how they wanted to get up there. Oh, remember this from the preview? There's a big old pit about 2 weeks ago. We had a recent rain filled in the pit. That was a 3-foot wall about 2 weeks ago. Now it's about 1.5 feet. So the rains have kind of changed the terrain, really added in some really deep ruts. One thing, the big transfer sections I had out here, just like these open washers like this, they had big water ruts cut through it. And it just, you had to keep your head on swivel here. You can't be caught daydreaming out here. You get cross-rutted, drop your bike into a rut there and throw you off. And then even as some of the climbs up and down, just really rutted out, which you had to pick your line. You had to be a little choosy in where you're putting your tires. All right, checkpoint 1's about there 1 o'clock. Right at the top there's the hard way off to the left, the shadowy area. The back side is the easier climb if you were to go all the way around. There's some other riders right there. They should be on the poker run. They could be making some money. Oh yeah, congratulations to Manny. He won the cash prize out here, just a one lump sum. He took home 180 bucks. That ain't bad to come out and ride for a weekend. He basically got paid to come ride this weekend. That's pretty good. All right, we're coming over to the base of checkpoint 1. But just a short little climb here, not too hard of a checkpoint to reach. I just want to give everyone a little taste of what's to come, kind of see where everyone's at. Let them know how I roll here. You didn't have to go this way. You could have went a different way though, but this is the way I took. That rut right there is actually rock, so if you get in the rut, you got a lot of traction. Little gnarly, little rough, but just keep on the momentum. Keep on a little steady gas right there, and Trixie just climbed like a champion. Got 2 big old boulders to squeeze through. Those boulders, they keep out the adventure bikes. Adventure bikes starting to take over everything, so you gotta put some narrow gaps in your trails here to keep the big bikes out. It's like how the side-by-sides, they have the posts to keep the side-by-sides and the quads out. We're gonna have to step up our game. We gotta get them even narrower now to keep the big adventure bikes out of the trails. I hope that doesn't piss all the adventure guys out. I hear little girl. My little girl's calling me. I gotta go check her out right now. She wants a Capri Sun. All right, problem solved. Nothing better than giving your 2-year-old a whole bunch of sugar. All right, looking good there, Georgie. I was riding really good today. I think I had some of my best riding ever today. My rear tire, I flipped it around. I got a VE33S, and I just flipped it the other way to get a fresh edge on the knobs. The other knobs is really worn down the other way, so now I got a big, nice, big, flat, fresh edge for extra bite, which worked out pretty good. All right, here we are, checkpoint 1. Not too hard, just a short little climb here. Just a little snack. Put down the finger stand. Got the hidden cash can right there. Look at that, folks. So professional. Professionally done this poker run was, I must say. All right, so what you do, get your cards out of there. You can't take your own card. You got to cut it for the other guy. And check this out. I go to grab a card. This card falls down. This card right here, I think if I would have kept that one, I would have won the poker ride. I would have won. I would have had 180 bucks. That would have been a sweet deal. Invite all these guys out here and take all their money. I mean, you can't beat that. But I put that card back. It's karma. I lost. All I had was had 3 6s instead of a full house. I think Manny had a full house too, so he might have had the higher full house anyways. I don't know. All right, we're coming down. I told these guys, just a little tip. You don't always have to go down the main line there. It's all rutted out and everything. You can just bounce on over to the grassy area, and usually you get some nice, smooth, fresh dirt. So it's not so sketchy going down or up. You know, just get off the main line and make a new line. You can do that out here. Spangler's just wide open. You can go anywhere you want. So just crisscross down here. We get down here, and Peter, he's going down the main line. He tumbles in the rocks up there. And I felt bad because he actually hurt his hand. I didn't know at the time. He hurt his hand, and he pulled out of the ride. Well, I came on up to check on him. Kind of feel responsible for everyone up here.
Peter, you gotta get out of the. Go on the grass.
I'm putting this on.
You got to get on the grass. Much smoother. There's no ruts, and you get a lot more traction.
Yeah, see, he's fighting those big old ruts there. The rocks are just rolling on him. Peter, I hope you don't mind. I put you in the video here. It's always good to have a little chuckle. Watch someone suffering makes you chuckle a little bit. Anyway, he's riding a big 500 there.
Now you'll get a lot more traction.
Yeah, see, he rides over here.
And the rocks roll on you and stuff.
All right, everyone's off the mountain now. Now we're heading over to checkpoint 2. And back to how I set up the poker run now. It got these big long transfer sections. Each checkpoint could be around 20 minutes apart. And I didn't want it to be like a hare and hound out here where it's just 80 miles of whoops. The rocks just beating you up. So I try to avoid the whoops as much as possible. I used the main roads, so we popped on over. This is the sand highway that's out here. So you can just bypass all the open desert stuff with all whooped out and rutted out. So just hop on here, you can go real fast. Checkpoint 2's off at about 2 o'clock right there, that close peak. Hop on the railroad tracks. They bulldozed the side of the tracks, which is nice, and made a nice clean run through here. Saved a lot of time. If you had to ride 7 hours of whoops out here, that's like the Baja 1000. You'd just be totally exhausted. So it's nice having these kind of smoother transfer sections just to get over to the hard checkpoint areas. So here we go. Checkpoint 2 off there about 11:30. You can go the easy way or the hard way, or any way you want to. You can make a new way. So I'm picked out a hard way for myself. You go around the opposite side, you can come up the easy way. Which, when I say easy, it's not easy, it's just not as hard. There's a hard way and then there's the harder ways, I guess I'd say that. Anyways, I went this way through the preview, so I wanted to give it another run to see if I improved what I did before, and I think I did. Now here we go. You got a whole bunch of rolly rocks through here with the rut. These are all about softball sized to basketball sized rocks rolling on you. The main thing here is to keep momentum going. And if you feel your back tire starting to dig down, stop, don't dig a hole, roll back, and then give it a little bump. Get over that and keep that momentum going, because it's soft, sandy soil, and it's very easy to just dig a hole and bury that back tire. There you go. Lost momentum, rolled back, reestablished momentum. There you go. See, rolled back, reestablished momentum, and once you got that momentum, just keep it going. Listen to Trixie lug down. I got that Enduro easy clutch. It mixed feather in the clutch. So nice when you really got a long uphill climb like this, and I'm just holding that clutch the entire ride. My finger isn't getting worn out. So if you guys got little girl hands like I do, and you got wimpy little fingers, look into getting something that makes your clutch pull a little lighter, a little easier. Our Enduro does a fantastic job doing that. Nice pivot back there, Georgie. Roll back. Reestablish momentum. There we go. Not having your clutch finger tire out is really nice because you can just keep on going. You don't have to stop and stretch out your hand. Almost to the top of the first step right here, the first of the hill, and then we'll go off to the left for the second hill. I think Chad, he went up the hill on the left there. I think he just shot straight up that and made his own, blazed his own trail. So that would have been cool to follow just to see how he made it up. Like I said, out in Spangler, it's pretty cool riding out here because any direction you want to go, you can go. You don't have to stay on the trail. You can just make up your own path, do your own thing. Gosh, yeah, our BM's dipping down there, Trixie. You know, people have been telling me about the TSP head and the ERM module to put on the bike here, and I haven't had a problem with the low end side of things. Maybe I just need to ride someone's bike that has it done, that I can compare it. But right now, I'm pretty happy the way she's running. All right, got another loose rocky climb. Last time I went up to the left, so I'm gonna follow that, just carry the momentum, and just shoot on, hang a left right here. Keep that momentum going up. It's soft, so just gotta keep it going. You can see my line from last time. I guess that was my line and Kyle's line. We'll get a little step up right here, pop the front tire over. And then I was a little bit more aggressive right here, so I make it up. Because last time I got hung up in the rocks, but got on up. Gets a little bit more technical at this top area. Gotta be choosy. Nice little pivot there. Place your front tire so that direction where your rear tire wants. Little step up here and get that rear tire up all the way. Pivot on over left. And we're almost to the top, folks. Checkpoint 2 is almost in the books. Yeah, I was happy. I was like, man, she's running good. Lots of traction. I was glad I flipped the tire around. Yeah, you could tell the improvement. I think a lot of it was just having a nice fresh edge on the tire. She was climbing like a champ. All right, here we are. Put the finger stand down.
All right, I need a good card. I need
Yeah, you
one to
do.
match what I got. I don't know if I look now or look later.
Yeah, it's a good luck or bad luck. That was Manny right there. He went home a rich man today. $180 in the pocket. Not a bad weekend. If anyone told me I got $180 to come ride for the weekend, I'd be there every time. All right, check 2 is in the books. We're off to check 3, which is the hardest one of the day. These are all just little warm-ups until we get to checkpoint 3. Now, the way I ran this, I don't know if I said it, let's say it again. The way I ran or wanted to run my poker run here was to do more of a hard enduro style poker run, but being as it was the first time, I left it really open, you know, to anyone that wanted to come out and ride. You could ride it hard, you could ride it easy, you could ride it at your level, you could push yourself if you want. And I imagine if we do this again, we'll have more riders. Each group could break off into their own groups, and not all the groups, not everyone has to go on the same line, which makes it really nice because you're not waiting for anyone. Well, I guess you're always waiting for the slow guy, but you're not waiting for anyone as far as the bottleneck's concerned. But so when we go to checkpoint 3, it is the hardest one of the day, and I gave a bonus for the guys who want to do it the hard route, which is up Lost and Found Canyon. And for the guys who go the normal route, you know, they just got one card. So if you went the hard way, you got the double card pull, which is pretty cool. For the poker run, I want to do more things like that where I have like bonus card pulls or challenges. There's a section here we didn't get to do. I'll point it out to you when we get to it, but it's a no dab section. So if you're able to make it without putting a foot down, you get an extra card pull. Of course, in my head, this is all based on the honor system. I don't know how it would work in real life. People would be cheating. You know, I imagine if we had more riders, that pot of money is going to get pretty big, and we're going to have some way of making sure no one cheats the system. But you're just cheating yourself if you're cheating the system out here. Anyways, so we have a lot of ground to cover. The next, to get over to checkpoint 3, We're gonna go a couple mountain ranges over there, and we get to a sandy wash, and there's a split. I tell everyone, all right, if you go left, that's the easy way. If you go right, it's gonna be the hard way, and there ain't no going back. I was trying to talk Rourke and Chad out of going the hard way just because I didn't know their level, and you know, when someone has to really push their bike, pull your bike, you can get frustrated real quick. So I don't want guys getting frustrated out here, but they were up and they were really good sports about it. So I was so happy that we did go the hard way. The other guys went the easier way. When I say easy way, it's still pretty hard. It's not just totally easy here. The whole poker run, I wanted to avoid as many whoops as I could, which is real nice. These recent rains, no one, you know, not a lot of people have been out here actually lately, and so you can tell it's just not all whooped out. With all these sandy washes. In the summertime, they'll be all full of whoops. But right now, the reason it rains, I mean, we had heavy rains out here. It just kind of smoothed over the sandy washes. Made for the transfer section is real nice. So you just cover a lot of ground real quick.
Yeah, you go up that canyon.
All right, here's the split. So you went up left, it was a easier way, and now we're going down right. This is gonna be the hard way. And get ready, folks. This is the real deal here. If I do future poker runs, I'm gonna up the level a little bit, just because people know what I like to do. I like to ride the hard stuff, and I think we did it pretty good. We did kind of, as a first year, kind of a good level of difficulty out here. But if we do this again next year, get ready, because I'm gonna step it up a notch. I think you guys, especially the guys that rode with me today, I think they could take it up another level. So I love it. I love the challenge of it, and it's gonna be good. In fact, we're gonna do the next poker run. I'll start advertising it. It's gonna be President's Day weekend, and we're not gonna have it here in Spangler. We're gonna do it in Jawbone area. I got some good checkpoints already mapped out, and it'll be fun just to do a different area too. So if you come out to Spangler quite a bit, go over and check out Jawbone. Jawbone just has another level of riding that is just amazing. I love that area out there. Just a little bit more extreme, and I think we're gonna have a good time too. It'd almost be the same kind of format, because we'd have a midway point. We can stop at the Jawbone Cafe, have a nice little lunch there, just like we did at Ransburg here. And then we got some really, really amazing checkpoints to hit up, some hilltops and some hard riding, which I like to do. Careful on these downhills, Georgie. These rocks roll on you. And what I've found, as long as you just keep a steady momentum, don't lock up anything, you can just balance on the bike, stand up, and you can just ride it down fairly easy. If you lock up the front, it can roll on you. And same thing, you lock up the rear, it rolls on you a little bit. See that? Look down at my phone. Use my Trixie mount right there, folks. I'm telling you, if you don't have a mount for your phone right in the middle of the handlebars, I don't know what you're doing. You need to get a Trixie mount like I got. It's just so amazing. Oh, bush to the face. That's just the desert giving you a little smack, making sure you're not falling asleep behind the bars here. All right, here we go, folks. Lost and Found Canyon. No joke, this is gonna get hard enduro for you. I just signed up for King of the Motos in January, so this is what King of the Motos is gonna bring. It's gonna be a whole bunch of lost and found canyons. So I was so excited bringing up Chad and Rourke here. I was like, man, they're getting a taste of King of the Motos. I don't think Rourke's done a hard enduro. I can't remember if Chad said he has or not. But this is gonna bring it. Alright, so the big thing about this canyon climb is that you got the sand here with the big rocks, so you gotta carry momentum. Once you get going, you don't want to dig your tire into the sand, because it's not gonna grab. It's just gonna dig a big old hole and hang you up on your swing arm. And the other thing is that you gotta stand on a peg. The outside peg, with the outside peg, even if just one leg, because when you hit these big rocks, if you're sitting it, you really get bucked around, and it's easy to lose traction. Whereas if you stand, one leg, build your one leg up. You gotta do some one-legged squats or something. but it just allows your body to absorb the shock of hitting the rocks, and it allows that rear tire then to keep getting more traction. I know when you're going through the sketchy stuff, it's just a natural reaction to get low. Your body wants to sit down on the seat, but you got to force yourself to keep standing. I ain't perfect. Oh, I hit neutral right there. I ain't perfect about it. I mean, I'm just an amateur here, but this is stuff I think about when I ride. Like up on the pegs, let the bike and the legs absorb. So here's a big rocky section here. Instead of sitting down, you got to force yourself to stand up and let your legs help the suspension keep traction for the rear tire. There's Rourke right there coming on up. Got Chad behind him. I tried to film these guys going through the hard sections. It's nice seeing what you look like. I never know what I look like. Here's a prime example. Weight the outside peg, and you just kind of gun it. And with the combination of my leg, nice pivot there, Georgie. Look at that. Placing the bike where it needs to go. But to weight the outside peg there, so my leg suspension with the bike suspension, I was able to get on up. There's a steep little step up right here. Next section, just got to keep the momentum going. It said rocks, I roll on you, but if you can just keep momentum going, she keeps on climbing. So just keep it going, keep it going. Lost my balance right there. And I roll back so I can get momentum going again. It's uphill. The camera doesn't show you how steep this stuff is, but it's a pretty good ascent right here. Pretty good climb. That big rock right in front of my tire now. I've got to place the front tire up there. It's real narrow. Bike's at a very big incline right now. I'm going to step up on the rocks, and my back tire, the rear tire, gets right on the front of this rock right here. I try to jump, it doesn't go. So now I got to pivot over, and I'm going to rock the bike back. It's a little tough. I give it little bumps, and it starts rocking bike, and I finally get the bike rocked back enough that then I could give it a good bump with my push and get over here. There we go. Drop the clutch, and she's up. That was tough. It wasn't pretty. Got the job done, though. Rear tire's up. I want the rear tire there. Now I'm going to pivot on over left. It's much easier to get the rear tire on the line and then just pop the front end over where it needs to be. All right, coming up, we got another loose, rocky, bumpy section. You just got to weight the outside peg. And once you get momentum started, keep it up. Now, if you lose it, if the rear tire slips, don't just fight it and fight it and fight it. Roll back. See, I'll roll back a little bit because I feel, okay, it's getting hung up. I'll roll back. Then I'll drop the clutch again, reestablish, get over that little obstacle, and get on up. Right here, aiming with the rear tire. Look at that. So I keep going deep. Front tire's doing a wheelie, doesn't matter. I got the rear tire where I needed it to go, which makes it a lot easier than pivot over where I need to be. All right, we got another hard climb coming up here, folks. Told you it's gonna be tough. I warned those guys. I wonder if they're having second thoughts. No, they did so good. Good sports about the whole thing. I was actually very proud of the guys going this way. They did really well. There again, once again, got that rear tire where I need to go. Pivot the left over. Now, 2 weeks ago, right here, I was with Kyle and he had to help come pull my bike. This is a very tricky section right here. Trixie, taking a nap on me. Come on, old man, push your bike up. You wanted a hard enduro poker run. You got one. Suck it up. Or I can't rock the bike back, did little bumps. I'm just gonna have to do the old tire burnout on the rock to get it traction. There you go. That's why we get the softer tires, just for those situations. I'm gonna do a little switchback. Gonna get up here. Switchback. I mean, this is steep and loose right now. I gotta pivot over. Oh my goodness, my little girl keeps coming over wanting cheese. She's a cheeseaholic. What do we got going on down? Look at that rock stopping me from climbing. Get that rock out of there. Everyone else that comes up this route, you're welcome. That rock's not gonna be in your way. See, I did a little rock back there. Easy on the delivery of power. I don't want to dig a big hole for the climb, just kind of crept up. My front end's high enough now I can just pivot it over. This is real loose and sandy right here. There we go. Really easy on the power, not digging a big hole. And up is up. Almost to the top, folks. Now this little lost and found canyon right there, 12 o'clock there, that's probably the last hard pinch point of the climb. Still got a little work till we get to that spot. Got to get up this little loose rocky climb here. Same thing, got to establish a little bit of momentum. I do these little rock backs, forward and backwards. I call that the Jarvis technique. I saw him do it at Erzberg one time, and it always stuck in my head. Just rock back and forth, back down the ground a little bit, and you can feel if there's a rock under it a little bit. You can make kind of a little line for yourself. Get up here, gonna do a little 511 special. Watch this weight back, throw the weight forward. Boom. Bike climbs up 2 feet right there. That's all I needed. Well done, Trixie. You deserve a rest. I'm just gonna leave her there. She can take a little break. I'm gonna hike back down and see. It's a battle getting up this right now. Gonna help out Rourke getting up here. He's in the crux of the trail. This is a hard spot. Gonna give him the old front tire drag. Turn that old one-wheel drive into a two-wheel drive beast. Gonna spot him here. The camera don't show. It's pretty steep right here, and I just don't want him to loop out the bike and fall left. So I'm standing down here. Of course, I think if the bike fell on me, it'd just probably crush me. I don't know if this is actually a smart thing to do. All right, he's up past the crux. One of many. Here comes Chad. It's his turn. 2 old guys just huffing and puffing.
I'm in a hole. I'm standing in a hole.
No worries.
Well, that hole turned into a black hole. Just sucked him right back into it. Chad was such a good sport. He was huffing and puffing pretty good. So was I. I was worried one of us is going to have a heart attack at any moment. But we made it up. His bike actually had a little bit of trouble. I don't know if the fan was running too long and his battery got low. He had a jumper on him. There, Rourke came back down to help out. This was just a tough spot to get up right here. There, I'm breathing pretty hard. Don't pass out.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Ah. Yeah, I got my brake on my. You got a big rock.
Got a big rock right here. Watch what I do, folks.
I just want to move.
Look at this big sucker. I should sign up for Strongman. Strongman, they lift rocks. I think I had to enter. I do pretty good. I do a lot of rock moving when I ride hard enduro. Come on, get up, girl. There she is. All right. Let's get back to work, folks. Trixie, she's nice and rested, so now I get back on her. Battle starts right away. Got one little ledge to get over. Gonna do the old roll back. Just digging a hole. I'm like, all right, don't dig too big a hole. Pushing on the side. Sometimes you gotta do that, folks. Don't feel bad if you gotta push your bike. Pros do it all the time. Tristan Hart does it all the time. See Manny Ledbeckler pushing his bike. So don't think you gotta just sit on your bike and just gas it all the time. If you gotta get off and give it a little push,
The battery low?
do it. All right, here's got the bike trouble.
Dang, I just missed that. That was a sweet little climb.
Oh yeah, there's another hard little crux going through right here, little pinch point. Didn't have my camera on. Anyways, we had to wait a while, get Chad's bike going again. He had a jumper pack in his bag of all things. I never bring one with me. We've got his bike going. I don't know what he's got his thermostat set to. I got mine set at 210. So it just, to me, it saves a little battery life. Your fan isn't running as often. And I set it at 210.
Like a ballerina dancer right here.
I mean, that's precision.
That's precision right there. Rourke came up for a little bit of help, but honestly, I was gonna get it anyways. I don't mind help though. If someone offers to help, I don't mind it. It's not my calories. You can burn your own calories if you want to. So we get up here, and there's some other riders that are gonna come through, and I was very surprised. I mean, this is a very remote part of Spangler. It's very hard, as you can see. Not a lot of people going through here. You can tell the trail just almost non-existent in some points. And here comes the riders. I was like so surprised to see them. All right, get up here. Gotta split the little rock gap right there. I could have went down to the right, but I'm gonna split it right there. Just carry the momentum. You can tell I'm just really easy on the throttle. Once that tire's on that rock, just easing it over. Here's that pinch point. Walked on back to help Chad up through it. He probably had it harder than we did just because dug a little rut there for him. Made the holes a little bit bigger for him. He was having a knack for catching his rear tire in front of a rock every time. Here's these riders coming down. I was so surprised to see anyone coming down.
I'm surprised to see anyone going down here. I'm like, no one hits this canyon up.
I was surprised to see you guys coming up it.
Yeah, well, yeah, that no one goes up it for sure.
That is so funny. I'm like, I can't believe anyone's come down. He turned around like, well, I can't believe anyone's going up. Like, I know we're crazy. Hey, almost to the top. One more little climb. Keep my momentum going. Aim with the rear. Get my rear tire all the way up to the crack. There we go. Pivot over right. Through the crack of the rock. We're up, folks. Through Lost and Found Canyon. That was a beast of a climb. If you guys come this way, get ready for a battle. It brings it. I love that kind of riding. I like to add more of those type of situations in future poker runs if I can. Because to me, I love the challenge. I love the battle. All right, we got a sandy hill climb to go up right here to get to the top of checkpoint 3. Checkpoint 3 is the very top here. It's the tallest peak in Spangler. In the summertime, this is dry, and this would be very loose. This would be a lot harder in the summer, well, especially with the heat, of course, but just the soil conditions today are almost perfect. You got nice, heavy soil. Even the sand's just heavy, so you're getting a lot more traction than you normally would. That rear tire, the VE33S, just eating it up. Get outside the rut a little bit, or it's a little bit smoother. Get on the power there, Georgie. Let her eat. I'm just trying to keep the momentum up. Don't want to stop. It's fairly steep, really bumpy as you can tell. Trying to avoid the rut. Sometimes you want to get down in the rut if there's like nice bare rock down there, you get a lot of traction, but if it's just really bumpy, still sandy, then you're not going to get traction. So bounce outside, pick a new line here like I'm doing right now. Trixie just lugging down low. The old Trixie wouldn't have done that. She would have flamed out about a dozen times. So there is something to be said that the 300s just are really great about not flaming out at low RPM. They just keep on chugging along so they can keep that momentum going. If I had momentum, could have made a second run from the bottom and just probably got some more speed and stayed out in the, like to the right there. It's a lot cleaner. Could have made a whole new line. If I ain't doing that, I'm just fighting it the whole way. It's one of those sayings, do what I say, not what I do. I say get outside the line, avoid the rut, but then here I am inside the rut, bumping my way along. Gonna get on up to the top of the saddle here, and then we hang a left and start going up to the peak. There is no name for this peak. It should be. It's the tallest peak in Spangler. There ain't no name for it. There's names of peaks all over the other place. There's even a peak just one valley over from here. It's a little lower, and it has one of those those geological survey elevation points on it, you know, stamped into it, rock. So the other group that went the easy way, they're up at the top right now. So I don't know how long. I should have asked them how long they were waiting for us. I don't think it was too long, but they made it up to the top as I'm speaking here. And this made me think of something. No one did anything wrong this time, but I'm gonna add a rule for the next poker run that you gotta be within a certain distance of the cash can. And I think that's just gonna make it that much more interesting to see who actually can make it to the cash can to get their playing card. What I don't want is just people hiking all the way up to get the playing card. I want people to actually get their bike up there. So if we put, I don't know, 50-foot radius, you gotta get your bike within 50 feet of the cash can to be able to get the card. I think that'll work. Oh, darted into that rock. What are you doing? Trixie, you're not supposed to dart into rocks like that.
I was into that one.
All right, let's try that one again. I'm gonna roll back down. That's one where it's a double step up right there. You gotta pop a wheelie and carry that wheelie into the next step up. See how I did that there? Then pivot on over. So that was a little tricky climb there. I added that there. You can go to the left around, but I added that spot in just because it's a cool little double. I guess if you're really good, you just keep on going straight, wheelie onto the second one, do another blip, and you splatter over the second step up as well. I ain't that good yet, folks. One day. All right, we're on up here to the top. We're gonna grab our cards, and we went the hard way. We'll get the double card pull, which is pretty cool. There's Mike there right ahead of me. We're gonna climb up. So if you guys watched my video before, the highest peak in Spangler, this is where it was. There's another sign-in can here though.
Yeah,
You can sign in. My sign-in book is still here, so if you guys come this way, you can still sign in the book.
One. I'm gonna take one from a different spot.
We're doing a double card pull, keeping things honest. I cut for him, and then he cut for me. And then we're back on the trail, y'all. I didn't look at my cards the whole time. I'm kind of superstitious. I thought it'd be bad luck if I look at my cards. I was just waiting to the end. But I didn't win, so maybe I should look. I don't know. I don't think it helped me out. I still lost anyways. I think that'll be a good thing. Next time you gotta get your bike within 50 feet, which 50 if you did 20 steps, we'll just say 30 steps. How about that? 30 steps within the cash can. If it takes you more than 30 steps to get to the cash can, you gotta get your bike a little closer. So from here, we gotta get over to checkpoint 4 now, which is off about our 10 o'clock. Couple ridge lines over. There's an easy way to get to it, so it's, I called it a gimme because there's a really easy way to get to the top, and then there's the harder way, which I wanted to throw in a no dab challenge, but we're running a little bit behind schedule. That Lost and Found Canyon, we had a late start to begin with the day, and then we had 2 guys on the electric bikes had some bike issues, so we just we're a little bit behind schedule of where I thought would be at this point. We're, well, 2 hours behind where I thought we'd be. Still worked out fine. We finished the course, the sun went down, so it still worked out. I was just thinking, man, if you have a big group or other riders out here, how I'd, try to keep everyone moving along so that no one's riding out in the middle of the dark. It's dangerous out here. Which happened. So the day before, the 2 guys on electric bikes, Aaron and Kevin, their electric bikes couldn't go the distance, and they'd have to stop and recharge. So they came and hit the furthest checkpoints. They did checkpoint 3 and 4 yesterday evening. They didn't have a lot of time, but it was dark. They said the sun was setting, so it was starting to get dark as they were coming back down this climb. And we're sitting there. Me and my wife are sitting there back at camp, and it was pitch black for an hour, and they still hadn't come back. And I started telling my wife, like, something happened to these guys, it's way too late. Maybe they went out for dinner or something, but I started having like bad thoughts in my head, like they're stranded, they're broke down, someone fell, is injured or something like that in the dark out here. And I'm like, they got cold last night too. There was frost on the windows, so it froze last night. I was just thinking about my video, my YouTube channel I watched, Kyle Hates Hiking, where he covers missing hikers and people that got lost, you know, and they starved for like 30 days. I was just picturing these guys are either injured out here, or they got lost, which is very easy to get lost out here. And you know, I was just having bad thoughts. But anyways, they came in and they said, yeah, it was getting really dark when they were riding back. I mean, if you ever ridden in the dark before, the shadows from your bike's headlights, it just makes the shadows look like deep pit holes. And it just makes it's scary. I don't like riding in the dark. It's scary. Get down here to the saddle, and I gotta wait for the guys. And I look back and I see this one little hill climb. I see one line going up, and I'm like, I have some time to kill. I'm gonna do it, which is pretty cool.
I see a line through there. I think.
Yeah.
Someone's hit that.
Right
You
to
see
left
that?
my pointer
Right up
finger,
there?
there's like a little line. I can see someone went up it at one point. Well, I got time to kill. I'm gonna hit it right now, so I head down here. Mike told me to do it, I think. Rourke was there, but I think Mike saw it. Go hit it then. Like, yes, sir. Come on. So here we go. I'm in second gear. It's a steep climb, very rocky. Look how rocky it is there. And this is where you just gotta keep your balance, keep that momentum going. And I'm gonna keep the revs up, feathering the clutch, keeping that engine revved up. Right here, just on the gas right now. It's steeper than it looks, folks. And I know if I get off the gas here, how sandy and loose it is, I'm not going to be able to keep on going. So I'm just like, all right, keep that RPM up, keep that rear tire eating away. And we're up, folks. Yeah. Pat in the back for that one, Georgie. Well done. Getting better. So that was good training here. I need to get used to being able, if you watch Mario, he just is full open throttle, full gas, use this clutch to get up the hills. All right, the group is back together. It's time to get going on to checkpoint 4. There's a cool little hard way. There's a little climb that I found. I added it in the ride. There was a bypass around it, or a hard way up the mountain here, and you'll see that coming up here. The camera doesn't show you how steep this climb is. Pretty intimidating, because you go to the right, there it is. And to the right, up in the shadowy area, it's all very rocky, very cliffy. You can't fall right. Here we go, second gear, outside the rut, just getting a lot of momentum built up, carrying that over. Just carrying that, but very steep through here. There's a big old rut. If I would have bounced to the left, I would have got out at, or just a little bit more speed, but the rear tire gets stuck in that little rut right there. I do get it off up. But up is up, folks. All right, we're up in there. I'm going to swing around here and watch the boys come through, too. So this is not a checkpoint. This is just a little hard route I found. A little hard nugget I threw in there. Here comes Chad up here.
Hey!
So Chad is up. Now here comes Rourke. Think Bush is in the way.
It's Stall Rock.
It's
We've
Stall
all
Rock.
stalled right there.
We all stopped right there. All right, we're all up. Check my 4s. Where's it at there? I think it's about 1 o'clock there. One of those peaks at 1 o'clock. You can see the guys that went through the bypass coming up on the left there. I really like the way I have this poke run set up. I'm going to continue this format in the future. Just set up the GPS coordinates of where the checkpoints are, get your card, and then you can ride the route however you want, you know. It's not a race, but you can ride it hard and really challenge yourself, or if you get gassed, you can ease off, or if it's just over your head, you're like, hell no, I ain't going that way. Well, just don't go. You can bypass the checkpoint altogether and hit up the next one. I had so much fun. I really like this, and I hope the guys that wrote it like this format, and I think they did. They all told me they had a great ride. I mean, they could have been lying to my face and just telling me that, but I think it was. I had a good time, so I'm pretty sure they had a good time too. We get up here, and there's a hard way to the left. There's a little waterfall, very short little section, but it's a hard section to get up. I want to add it in, but because we're behind on time. I left it out. We bypassed it right here. We would have went left around that little rocky gorge right there. Would have been pretty sweet. Would have been a struggle for these guys, but running out of time. Unfortunately, didn't get to go that route. Yesterday, I had gone that route and I added some kicker rocks to. There's almost a rock wall you got to get up, very similar to the famous rock slab in Donner. It's very abrupt, steep, and you just got to be on the throttle and body position right to get on up. Anyways, didn't get to do it, folks. Had it all set up. I moved quite a bit of rocks yesterday because I was like, this is tough. I'm going to have to help these guys out. So I did a lot of rock moving yesterday, all for nothing. Next year that's getting in. Get to the top here and you'll be able to see checkpoint 4. And I think some of the guys went up to the right. They went around the easier route there. Checkpoint 4 is that peak off 1 o'clock to the right. And we're gonna go up the saddle right between those two peaks there. And that was gonna be my no dabs challenge. It's a very technical climb, which if you're on the gas all the time, you can make it up. I've done it before without dabbing, and it's tricky. So I was gonna add that in and have it, if you didn't dab, get a double card pull. I like that kind of stuff, little bonus card pulls, you know. Here we go. This would have been the no dabs challenge, but it just didn't work out, so I just didn't tell anyone about it. This would have been the no dabs challenge. Very rocky. Oh, got kicked out by a rock right away. So I would have been out of the no dabs challenge immediately. But I have done this before, folks, not dabbing. I should have went back down at this point just to get another go at it. But I'm stubborn as a mule, and I just kept on fighting. Did a little rollback here, trying to get some momentum established, and I'm able to get it. He starts climbing again. The main line's off to the right there, so rutted out though, and avoided it. You can see here's another little line off to the left, which is fine. Crossover, just see how deep that rut is right there? I've gone up that in the rut before. It's just crazy. Get up to this point, get back onto the main line here. I still think you can do that. So if I had a second ride, I should have done a second ride because I think I could do this without dabbing. At this point, just balance and momentum. And no stopping, which I stopped right there. Don't do as I say, not as I do, folks. This part of the ride, you're just dangling the legs out the back. It's okay to dangle the legs. You don't always have to be standing. You see Billy Bolt, you see Graham Jarvis, Manny Lettbeckler, they do the leg dangling just as much as anybody. Helps you keep your balance. And you just got a lug climbing up like that. All right, we're up. Checkpoint 4, just a little bit more to go up to the top of this peak right here. That would have been a very, I don't think anyone would have got that no dab challenge today, but that would have been tough. Which is why I'd like to throw it in. It's just, it's worth it. All right, here's a little zap right here. Maybe a double flip to see what I do. You gotta pop that front tire up. Yeah, little double flip, folks. Wasn't much. Should have went right here. And I'm like, nah, I'm going left this time. I think last time it went right. There's a ledge here. I felt good on that last double flip, so I'm gonna see what I gotta do here. Well, I could have popped the front tire and she just goes straight into a wheelie right there. It almost gets away from me. Up is up, folks. Sometimes it ain't pretty. And I just got a little lucky that the bike didn't loop out on me right there. Here's Chad and Chris waiting for us. Put the old finger stand down. I'm getting pretty good at this finger stand business. I don't do kickstands anymore, folks. I do finger stands. That's all Husky makes these days. So I remember when I found or thought about this checkpoint last year, I came out this route that these guys were coming, and I was like, all right, there's a easy way and a hard way. And this is where I want to make the rule. Like I said, these guys, I didn't have that rule established, so there's no harm, no foul. They still made it up there. I mean, hiking up is still hard, folks. It's not like hiking is easier. I'd like to get the bike up because I think riding the bike's easier than hiking sometimes. Just make the bike do the work. Anyways, folks, what do you think about that? Doing a 20-step or a 30-step kind of minimum there, about distance away from the bike to count as making it to the checkpoint. I think that's pretty good. We're going by the honor system too, so you gotta be honest about your steps here. All right, checkpoint 4 in the books. We got a lot of ground to cover. We're gonna go back to the staging area to get gas, and I'm just gonna bypass all the whoopee stuff. We're going straight over to the road here. We're just gonna hug the road, side and shoulder of the road, ride most of the way back, so it covers a lot of ground real fast, and we're not killing ourselves riding through the whoops. Get past the old train here. It's like a landmark out here, this train. I don't know if they're serviced or they're just waiting, abandoned trains. I don't know what these train cars are doing out here. They're always out here. All right, we're back to the staging area right there. We call this football field, but I was told it was also called the arena, which I don't know. It's a good spot. Good little area. There is no reception though. You got Verizon. I got Verizon. You get down there. What are you doing there, George? You're down in the rut. After all this time riding, telling people not to ride in the rut, here I am stuck in the rut like an idiot. All right, get out of that rut. There you go, buddy. Do what Chad's doing. Think outside the box. He's getting this smooth ground. Anyways, folks, get on over here. This is not a checkpoint. This is just a pit stop. We got to get some gas. Put in around 35 miles, and the Loop 2 section, checkpoint 5 and 6, is going to be about another 30 miles. So we need some gas right here. Put down the finger stand, fill up the bike. We're off and rolling again. We're off to checkpoint 5 now. We got to go get some lunch. We're 2 hours behind schedule, and I'm hungry, y'all. So I have everyone start off with this big hill climb. You don't have to do the big hill climb right here. But I thought it was kind of cool because you got all the other campers out here. And nothing makes you ride worse than a whole crowd of spectators putting the pressure on the ride good. That instantly makes me not ride good. I'm struggling up the hill. I should have went back down and got a second run at it because I have one-shot this just 2 weeks ago. Just kind of went up, no problem. On the struggle bus, I think me and Rourke kind of in the same spot. Everyone else kind of went a little bit different route. Trixie, she's still grabbing though. This is good practice, folks, so I always think about training for the next big race coming up, and sometimes you can go back down and make a one-shot, other times you can't do that, so it's good just to get some practice how to get that traction back, you know. When you're on a big hill climb, how do you get that momentum reestablished so you can keep on climbing up? There's some rolly rocks here. The grass kind of helps keep everything together, so you just don't want to dig a big hole for yourself. And it's just like how I did up Lost and Found Canyon. I say this all the time. Do a little rock back. So you feel that rear tire digging in, start creating a hole, get off the gas, rock back a little bit. Don't take much, 6 inches, a foot, and then you can reestablish some momentum and prevent yourself from just digging a big old hole and burying that back tire. All right, we're up. Yeah. Put it on a show for the folks down there. There's not that many people. I thought it'd be a lot more RVs out in this site. You know, Thanksgiving weekend's this weekend, and it gets busy out here, but I guess people haven't started rolling in yet. Maybe a couple days. Get through the backside. It's cool finding these little things. I like these little things like this. So here's a tiny little tunnel to go under the railroad tracks. We could go further down the road and just go over them, but I like finding these little things. You know, it's a little tunnel to go through. It's kind of fun. This is rutted out. So 2 weeks ago, we just went straight down and up and over. You can see how the water just washed that all away. So now we got to do a little jump to the right there. So we're going to checkpoint 5. Checkpoint 5 is the Joint in Ramsburg. It's a little bar there, and they do burgers. And then the new owners there, they bought that place, the general store down. They got the whole strip, I think, and it's really a fun place. If you guys haven't been to a little desert mountain bar, hit up Ramsburg, the Joint. I mean, the burgers are top notch. I'd give them a 9 out of 10. They were just, I mean, you're riding all day. You could eat the backside of a cow. You know, you just so hungry, and it delivers. They're so tasty. Burgers are good. The fries are amazing. You can go get a ice cream. You can get a milkshake. Beer's ice cold. I mean, you really can't ask much more than that. But to get down there, it's not open right in through here. So they got some wilderness area. They want you to stay on the trail, and it's just a side-by-side trail. So we just make quick work of it. Don't mess around. Don't get lost either, because there's a lot of trails going which way, old trails. And they all say, no, can't go, trail closed there, no motorized vehicles. Everywhere says that. Drives me nuts. I'm like, the trail is there. What does it matter? But anyways, stay on the side-by-side trail. There are side-by-sides out here. It can, depending on the weekend you come out, it can be very busy. Now, I don't have a plated bike either, so I gotta go the back way. If you got a plated bike, you could take the main road into town. And speaking of the main road's closed. Garlock Cutoff's closed too. They had these big rains, like I said, last week. And they had a bunch of road washed out, so they closed down the road. Anyways, we roll into town here, 2 hours behind. I wanted to be here about 12:30. We're about 2:30 right now. I can see the sun starting to set already. It's getting low. We roll up here. My good friends, Christina, Era, right there sitting at the table. They just moved to Ridgecrest, so they joined us for lunch. It's so cool seeing them. Put down the old finger stand here. It's time for a beer. Time for a burger, beer, and some fries. Yeah. Such a cool spot. Love these little desert bars here. Great group of guys. Great people all around. It takes some time to get your burger though, but they are delicious. I'm telling you, it's a 9 out of a 10. Anyway, as you can see, sun is setting, and we got to get to checkpoint 6, which is El Paso Peak. It's about a 25-minute ride from here. Pretty straight shot from here. El Paso Peak's a very high peak. You can actually see it when we're sitting in Randsburg at the balcony there. You can see checkpoint 6. You can see the peak. It's pretty cool. Right here, if you look, about 12 o'clock, this big old, I think C-17 military Air Force jet just flies over straight. It's 12 o'clock right now, going right to left, and it did this bank turn. On the camera it don't look like much, but I was riding, it looked like right there. It's huge, and they had 2 of them fly over. It's pretty cool. They had one fly right over where my wife was parked. She went back a little before us, and she said it went right overhead, right over the trailer. Pretty cool. Anyways, folks, we're across the valley, going up through the hills now. To get up to El Paso Peak, you can go this way, or you can go a little bit east and get back into some more single track. But since it's getting so dark already, I'm like, we just got to get there, because I do not like riding after the sun is set. It's dangerous, y'all. Those little dips, when your headlight just sees a black hole, it starts getting, I mean, you don't see the ground. Those holes look big. Go up this sandy wash here, kind of gravelly wash here. It's a little loose, especially with my pyro setup I have here. It's like, it makes me feel really squishy. Got to cross over one more ridge, and then you'll see El Paso Peak. It's a pretty tall peak. You get up there and the view is just amazing, and we timed it perfect. I'm telling you, I didn't plan it this way, but it worked out this way. You're up there at the peak at sunset, and the sun was right on the horizon. It's just beautiful. Almost got kicked out by a rock right there. You see that little twitch, a little perk, and then, man, that was quick. Gotta watch out for that. I'm standing up, so I was able to absorb that little twitch of the bike. But you sit down, you can't absorb that twitch quite as easily. Those shadows getting real long, y'all. The whole time in my head, I'm like, we gotta hurry up. We gotta get up there before the sun sets. I don't want to get up there after the sun sets. So I'm like, let's go, let's go, let's go. We're not waiting. No more breaks. All right, we're finally starting the ascent up El Paso Peak. That is the south peak right there, that pointy one right there. You can go up to that one as well, but that's actually not as tall as the north peak. Although it looks taller because it's so pointy. I'll have to put a cash can up there in another ride. There you go, so that saddle in between, see at 1 o'clock, it actually looks like the lower peak, but that's just because it's further away, but it's actually the higher peak. There you see the sun setting, y'all. I'm like, oh man, we gotta go look over. You see I look over right there. I'm like, all right, man, we gotta get up there. It's right there, we're close. And then I start coughing. What's all that about? You're not breathing no dust there. Suck it up, old man. My thighs were starting to cramp. I had a couple cramps in my groins. It was a long ride. Like I said, we were out 8 hours. 7 hours and 50-something minutes is what my Onyx Off-Road told me. So it was a long day of riding. I was anxious to get up to the top here and get back to the rig. By the end, you know, you're wore out. This poker run definitely wore you out. It was a long day of riding. Very challenging. You saw the checkpoint 3 up that Lost and Found Canyon. That was an extremely challenging point to get, but we got her. All right, just looking down, making sure I know where I'm going. All right, no turning back, folks. All these rocks are about baseball, softball sized rocks. They didn't roll on you, so you just keep that momentum going. You don't want to stop because it'd be extremely hard to get traction again, get that momentum started. We're gonna go up to the saddle to the right there. El Paso straight ahead of us right there. Come down here. Got a nice climb. It's a bouldery, rocky climb. Once again, just keep that momentum. As long as you keep the momentum going, you're gonna keep climbing. It's not extremely steep, but just from the rolly rocks that you see I'm going over, once you stop, it's so hard to get started again. Trixie doing a good job today. I'm so proud of her. I did some of my greatest riding I've ever ridden. My confidence was soaring. Yeah, look at that sunset. It's almost there. Come on, Georgie. You got about a minute and a half to get to the top of that peak before that sun sets. Let's go. A little bit of a rocky climb right here. Same as before, just stay on the gas. You don't have to be overly aggressive on the throttle. Just nice, easy, smooth throttle. Maintain momentum, maintain traction. Shoots up, a little bit of a right turn, just keep on climbing. All right, this is such a cool checkpoint up here. The view is absolutely amazing up here. It's one of the tallest peaks out here. It's taller than the peak in Spangler. This technically isn't Spangler anymore. I don't know what this area is called. It's El Paso Peak. To the right, there's a observatory over there. I call it the soccer ball. There's one in Nelson Hills that's called the soccer ball. It's basically the same thing, except this one's a lot bigger. Pretty rocky through here. I'm gonna shoot up the other side for the final little climb, and I dump the bike over. I'm human after all, folks. I'm just an amateur guy doing this, and I fall just as much as anybody. Anyways, such a cool. I love this, and I was able, like, the sun is almost all the way down. I'm like going as fast as I can to get the bike up. I'm like, get that finger stand down. I gotta take a picture. Hurry up! Get that thing down. It's costing me some time there. Sun's about to go under.
Made it.
Hey, made it. Stop playing around, Georgia. Sun's about to go down. Look at that, folks. That is picture of the year right there. Look at that sucker. Beautiful. Got the photo right as the sun is going down. There's probably 10 seconds left. All right, checkpoint 6 in the books. We got 6 cars. I haven't looked at them yet, so I don't know what kind of poker hand I have right now. I had a good, I had 3 6s. I might have got the, oh, look at Chad throwing a rock right in front of my way. That's how he plays. He throws rocks right in your way. Noted, Chad, throwing a rock in front of me. Such a good group of riders out here today. Everyone had just good spirits. It was a joy. It was just fun. You ride with guys that are just positive and able to joke, take a joke. It just makes the ride so fun. So now we're going back to camp. Checkpoint 7 is where our campsite is, staging area is. So I'm excited. I'm exhausted too at this point. You know, I'm getting pretty fatigued. I can't wait to get back to the rig and call it done for the day. Put a fork in me, I'm done. I would like to, that hilltop to the right there, 1 o'clock. I'd like to go up there. There's a trail that goes up there. And I'm sure there's a cash can up there. It was not a hardcore enduro one, but there's gonna be soon, trust me. There's a trail that goes down the backside. 2 weeks ago, we didn't know that. We went around the long ways, and we got around there. We saw there was a trail. So I haven't been down this trail yet. I was just assuming it would work. It was pretty rutted out. And it's pretty steep. Camera don't show you how steep it is. And once again, I got in the rut. Then a couple of guys that went up to the right and got on some smooth ground, which was a smart thing to do. Sometimes you just gotta think outside the trail, and you got smooth ground just to the right. If I could just go out to the right there, it'd be nice and smooth, but I'm stuck in the rut right here. It's all good practice, good training. Sometimes when you're in a race in a hard enduro, you're in the rut. Like, there's no way to get around it. So you just gotta be able to control the bike, control your balance, and get comfortable. Sometimes a mental game just gets in your head, like, oh crap, I don't want to go over the bars, this is sketchy. And you just got to work yourself, tell yourself in your head, you're going to be all right, you're going to get down, just stay in control, slow, stay in control of the bike. I always say that when I'm going downhill. Anyways, folks, we're getting close to the end. We go back to checkpoint 7. Manny wins the cash prize. He had a full house. He won 180 bucks. Congratulations to him, and thank you to all the guys that came out and rode and stayed positive. No one had a bad experience except for Peter. I'm sorry, Peter. He had to pull out early with the injured hand. Felt really bad about that, but you know, that happens sometimes. I hope he doesn't hold a grudge against me. If he'll get a chance to come out again, we're holding another Hardcore Enduro Poker Run. It's going to be February, whoa, what is that? 13, 14, 15, I forget now. It's President's Day weekend. And, oh, look how dark it's getting already, folks. I don't like riding at night. It gets sketchy out here. I'm glad I have my clear lenses. Otherwise, I'd be goggle up right now. It'd be too dark. But anyways, President's Day weekend. It's going to be out in Jawbone. I'll be promoting that. And hopefully we get some riders out there. It's going to be a little bit more extreme than Spangler, just because Jawbone is more extreme than Spangler. It's gonna be a fun time. I hope to see you guys out there, and until next video comes out, get out and ride and get some. Ew!